It's time for us to play a quick game of Spotify roulette. I did kind of prep you on this a little bit pre-hand, but the idea is that essentially you open up your Spotify, you hit shuffle 3 times and tell us what those 3 songs are. Please don't play it just because copyright and things like that. We'll get in trouble and we can't afford that.
Fantastic. I have to slightly adjust the camera so I can actually see what the song is.
No, you go for it.
All right, let's go. Shuffle. Oh, that's terrible because I don't even know what that song is. So first one is Mine by Life is Better Blonde.
Okay. Is this like, do you reckon it's one of those like random ones where you're like, I've heard that and that sounds good. I'm going to just quickly add that to the like playlist.
You know, I'm actually terrible for names. I'm really bad at remembering names, but I definitely remember the album cover. So I'm like, yeah, I've definitely heard that a few times. Could not tell you the name. Let's go again because that's a weak start.
We need to add that to the playlist.
So every episode that we do, Sam, we build a Spotify playlist. So you're going to have your own personalized Spotify playlist from this episode that goes out to all of our audience, and so that they can enjoy the songs. Because if it's a song, we don't ever claim that we know every single song that someone, a guest, suggests. So you know, it's a bit of a learning point for us as well to be able to go and listen to the songs that you enjoy as well. So just thought we'd let you know that your whole episode is going to be recreated in a its own set list, I guess.
That's brilliant. Super cool.
I think from the songs he said and bands he's mentioned, I reckon we'd like it.
I do too.
I hope so.
Right. Shuffle again, Sam.
Yeah.
Are you ready? I'm a bit more proud of this one. All Falls Down. Well, actually, no, maybe not at the moment. But All Falls Down, Kanye West.
Yeah.
That's a tune.
I actually added that this morning to my Spotify.
That's pretty timeless for me. That's
Great
something
song.
I've listened to, consistently. Not, but it's a few years old now, isn't it? And what she was in
with the vocals.
The girl in the video.
She's what?
She was the girl from Clueless.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Questioning it now.
Thing is, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Not the blonde girl, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Her best friend Dion.
No.
When it falls down, who you gonna call now? Does he go through the X-ray at the airport?
In the video?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's her. I'll show both of you
first.
one day. All right, that is a banger. Good shout,
tune.
Sam.
Nicely done. And your last one
is oh, it's not going for it. Let's go. Oh, here we go. That wasn't working for a second there. Sorry. Last one again. Kind of proud of this one. Lost. Frank Ocean.
Tune.
absolutely
From his Channel Orange album.
Mate, for me, that's the best Spotify roulette we've had.
We've done a few of these as well, and that's a lot of songs to go through. But that is,
and they're on mine as well.
oh yeah. Apart from the first one, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what that is. But
Not the first
the other two, are like Lost. I used to.
You showed me that tune.
I did.
But yeah,
Double D
for me,
before press on my baby.
nice.
Really came out as gay. Fair play.
Yeah.
My thing's not working.
Ah.
Oh no. Sorry, bear with.
No, sorry.
Should we tell him what you're holding?
This is a little ring. Everyone should know this, to be fair. We play with it quite a lot. It's a little ring, and it controls the screen in front of us so that I can skip through the page to, like, see what comes next in the podcast, because we're not smart enough to come up with everything off the top of our heads.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. This is
Hey.
real.
I didn't know you can get a controllable ring. Is that like you're controlling that with your thumb?
Yeah, so it's like £4 on Amazon or something. It's
no
actually
way.
meant to be for scrolling
my
through
mind.
TikTok and stuff. But I've hooked it up to an iPad. Yeah.
People scroll through TikTok on it.
Yeah, that's what it's for your phone.
Fuck,
it's meant to
man.
like it's literally
That's
like from
scary.
China. Mad, but okay. Well,
All right,
it's working now, obviously.
back on to the show. Sam, what we do at this stage is an independent venue to shout out. So, independent venues dying a little bit. Some of our favourite ones getting knocked down to turn into flats, or corporations are taking over and making them into a chain, or things like that. So, is there any venue or like an independent small venue that you've been to that you love and you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, absolutely. So many. So I, as well as Harry might even say some of the same ones. Obviously, I went to uni in Leeds, and Leeds is an insane music city. They have like the music college there. They have 3, 4 unis, 5 colleges. So the student scene's huge. So the music scene's huge. And I spent a lot of time at a place called Belgrave Music Hall. I want to say that's not a chain. I'm pretty sure that's an independent.
It
I
sounds
hope it is.
independent. Yeah.
And they were great. They threw some really good gigs, nice and intimate, not too big, not too small. Part of a bar, and there's like a rooftop terrace. It's kind of the perfect venue. And then counter to that is it's like what is the town, not the town centre, the Chapeltown Youth Centre or something, which was basically just an empty warehouse. It was where they threw these insane subdub raves, which I also experienced for the first time at uni, and I'm pretty sure that's actually closed down now. It was this massive experience for me at uni. They were like once a month. It had some of the best sound systems I've ever heard in my entire life. Incredible lineups, and just your perfect kind of rave venue, really. It was dingy lights, everyone kind of just doing their own thing, and like the best kind of dub, jungle and drum and bass you've ever heard.
Class.
I bet that was sweaty in there.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
things, like-
Did you ever go to that one in Brighton? It was in like an old co-op or something.
No.
Christ, had some nights in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, good venues to shout out. I
Yeah.
like that.
Huge. Nice one. That's perfect.
Was it Belgrave?
Belgrave, yeah.
Nice. Love that.
I didn't realise it was Leeds that you met Harry at. I thought it was Sadler's.
No, Leeds, yeah.
Fair. Okay, that's cool. Okay, well, now we're gonna actually set the scene for the actual part of the podcast where we talk about your dream gig. So we've taken some time to get to know you and let the audience get to know you a bit as well. And so now we want to kind of set the scene and talk about things like what venue you're gonna do the event in.
This was actually the hardest one for me when I was thinking about it, because I mean, I've done a fair amount of gigs and live events, and I can't say there's any that have really stood out as like, oh, that was the best venue I've ever been to. And I can't say I've ever been to any like of those really classic venues or like gigs or festivals that people talk about, like a Woodstock or whatever. So I actually wouldn't know where to put this gig, let's say. But I think for me, it's less about where it is, but like when it is, if that makes sense. Not to like bend your rules a little bit. So honestly, it could be at any venue that has the capacity to hold the artists I'd want, but it would definitely have to be like pre-smartphones, because then just everyone's there enjoying the gig and you don't have some phone in your face. That would kind of be my only rule, which kind of doesn't answer your question, but
It does to a degree though, because I still think it sets a bit of a scene for like what we're looking at. I mean, realistically, if we're talking pre smartphones, we're talking carling academies and back before smartphones were a thing, and then even before that, essentially theatres. Like we're looking at the kind of like Theatre Royal in Brighton.
They need to ban phones at gigs.
I think so.
And the thing is, even if you take one, you watch it back after the gig or the next day, and it's always shit.
The thing is, I'm one of these people, and I will hold my hands up to you are too. I've seen you do it. We've both taken our phones out and recorded a part of a gig,
100%.
and then it's just like,
What
have we done with it? What have
never.
You've never used it?
I've never watched any gig footage back.
Exactly. No. We took some photos maybe, but that's about it. And that's actually something that we do use.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think some artists I've seen. I saw Green Day on stage, and he was getting a bit pissed off of it. He said, "Put your phones away."
The only thing I do like it for, and it's not the recording part, but it's just when there's a large audience and they all get their the camera out, if they get the light out all together, because that looks incredible.
Yeah, true.
But
that's a fair point.
If they're recording at the same time, then fuck them.
Yeah, they're all recording simultaneously like this.
Just waving it.
Sam, I think when I go to gigs, and I've gone to gigs with the same like group of people, you know, throughout the years, and I think that can really make the night. So at your gig, your dream gig that we're talking about, who would you be going with?
Oh, absolutely. That's such a good point. It would. I do have like a little group of like lad mates, the boys, as everyone kind of calls them, who I'd have to go with because that's who I've done all those experiences with. We actually met. It was my first professional dance job, and the other three lads were kind of already on it. They're, we're all a similar-ish age, kind of maybe 3 or 4 years between all of us. But we basically, when I first graduated, did like loads of touring around England and Europe together, and became very fast friends, and kind of have been ever since, really. And that would be my mate Josh, Harlan, and Mikey.
Nice.
Shout out to them.
Shout out the boys.
Shout
The
out the
boys.
boys. But that does make the night sometimes.
It does. It does.
I've been to gigs that I don't remember any of the gig, but I know I had the best time. You know, you've been out with Jack Prince.
I have. Catfish of the Bottom Man at
Yes.
Brixton. That was a good night. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
When you get to your venue, what you do? Are you getting a drink? And if so, what are you drinking?
Ooh, good question. Absolutely having a drink. Not too much, so you just need to piss the entire gig. Again, going back to these little raves in Chapeltown, the thing I always would grab was just a red stripe. So I'm just gonna have to say, yeah, I'll get a little easy can of red stripe.
Can't
Nice.
go wrong with a red stripe.
Nice. As it's your dream gig, would you like a 4-pack of red stripe and ability not to piss?
Oh, perfect. Then I'm sold. Yeah, I have the little
Done.
4-pack in front of me.
And I can ever be the person that pisses in the pint glass afterwards and launches it.
This is something we talked about with Tom Leach.
Well, I've had so much piss thrown at me over the years.
This is a topic
Not
of
just a gig.
conversation we come back to far too often, but it's true.
I can't say I've ever seen it either. I've never seen any of my mates do that. And if I did see any of my mates do that, I'd probably throw the piss on them.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mate, honestly.
I've worn so much piss.
I'm not going to say who it was, but I went to a gig with someone, and no word of a lie, he didn't piss on anyone, so don't worry.
Fine.
Personally, I think this is slightly worse. He's quite a tall
didn't
lad.
shit in it,
No,
did he?
he was quite a tall lad, and it was an emo. It was Lost Prophets we were watching. Fuck. And there was this shorter emo girl stood in front of him. He was just spitting in her hair.
What?
I looked over, and he was just spitting in her hair. You know who you are, by the way. That was fucked up,
That's
man.
so weird.
That is
I thought you were saying it was
fucking-
sad.
No, I'm just talking to the cam.
Oh.
You know who you are. If you're watching this, no.
That's
That's
shocking.
fucking
what was
mad.
he gaining from that?
Was it a power play? I don't fucking know. We were so young. Like,
Was it Ollie?
no, you don't know him. It was someone I went to school with, like when I was a fair bit younger. I doubt he's gonna watch it too. So
So there you go. That's the company that Will keeps.
kept.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was gonna fucking do it. I was like, mate, yeah, go and spit in that girl's hair.
I bet you had a go.